This video is dedicated to the musicians who are also parents. I'm in New Orleans this weekend for a clinic and concert at Loyola University. Unfortunately, due to some severe weather that came up pretty quick, we had to cancel tonight's concert, which is a total bummer. So I'm sitting here scrolling through some recent videos and comments and thought I would take the time to answer some questions. One popped out at me from a post on my Instagram page last week. I had shared a picture of my 9.5-year-old son, and folks who had been watching my videos and vlogs and stuff for years were commenting on how much he'd grown and wow, how fast time passes, because back in my early vlog days, he was just a baby. How's it going?
Good. Just I'm afraid of this stuff.
What stuff?
Grass.
You're afraid of grass?
Yeah, I'm allergic to it.
What? One of the questions that jumped out at me, and I've gotten versions of this, but this comes from James, who said, Bob, how do you balance the family, practicing, and performing? I know you talked about it in a vlog, but as a new father and husband, I have a different perspective now. Well, look, one of the fundamental challenges for adult musicians, whether pro, semi-pro, or adult amateur, adult learner, hobbyist, whatever you want to call it, is trying to carve out the time to practice our instrument, practice our craft amidst life's other competing demands, things that frankly we're not likely to have as school-age students, at least I hope not. So it's a different set of challenges, and it can be really frustrating to get to it. And I'm sure your version is different than mine. I mean, it absolutely will be unique and different, but I bet we have a lot of overlap. On any given day and week, I've got kids to feed,
What?
cats to feed, pickups and drop-offs, guitar lessons.
And you fly so common sense.
Basketball.
How did it go, Hudson?
So my legs are exhausted,
Yeah, Hudson.
and I think I didn't shoot before, but I think now I'm really good at my mid-range.
Travel.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened.
My flight is delayed 9 hours. I've been here since 1 o'clock. We're hopefully leaving at 10:30 or 11 p.m. Hopefully.
Recording sessions. Teaching.
Today I'm teaching at USC, and well, it doesn't feel very Southern California right now, but the rain is good. We need the rain.
Performances. Constant tasks at the computer. I mean, like everything. Oh, and dishes. Always dishes.
Never-ending dishes.
So what do you do? Or more specifically, James is asking me, what do I do? How do I balance it? And I first got to let you in on a secret. This is maybe going to be not what you're hoping to hear, but I really don't think I do a great job balancing it.
When I'm not on the road, I'm definitely prioritizing being as much a part of all the domestic activities as I possibly can. It's a short window of time we get with the kids. So even though, yeah, right now my wife and I are underpaid Uber drivers a lot of the time, I mean, these are moments that will ultimately have gone by in a flash. When it comes to practicing,
I guess what I'm always trying to do is sort of focus on, well, let's see, maybe 3 areas, like just fundamentals of the instrument, tone and time, feel and technique. And I want to make sure that I'm being vigilant about that. Okay, whatever amount of time I'm going to spend, am I doing something that is just going to really be focus my attention and solidify my connection with the instrument, and hopefully doing something that stretches me a little bit, but something that also grounds and centers me. So I mean, the choices are infinite, and I've certainly made many, many videos about this, so you can search my channel for a lot of that. But it can be a lot simpler than we often make it. It doesn't need to be some amazing exercise, resource, book, anything. It could just be really intentional with something. I mean, I'll just pull one out of the hat, like an A flat minor scale. What if that's not really a familiar landscape to you? So you just say, I'm going to just spend 10 minutes really being an A flat minor and playing that on the horn, being slowly, just really, oh, what's it feel like to transition from bis B flat to B natural? How does that feel? How does that sound? What if I do these intervals? Be creative with it, but also be disciplined about what you're executing. And that's where things like using the metronome come in and looping things.
2 more things I find helpful. 1, tunes. Just use a song as a springboard for things you're going to practice. If you organize yourself around a song for a little while, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, it just helps you kind of, you can be thinking about it even when you're not at the instrument. And then when you walk back in and start to play, like I was playing at the top of this video, I was playing Indiana because we've been studying Donna Lee in my studio, and I've been working with students a lot on Donna Lee, and somebody brought up Indiana, and then I got thinking about Indiana again. And so, okay, now I'm working with the melody of Indiana and the changes to Indiana. And when I get to a certain moment within working on that song, I go to play a chord or a scale. Something that I try to do doesn't quite happen. Boom, now I have something to practice. Okay, like, oh, that's interesting. How about this set of intervals over this diminished scale? Oh, that's cool. If I do this, I kind of get this major 7 interval. Let me practice all the different major 7th intervals I can inside of this scale. I wasn't planning that for my practice, but because I'm being open to it and being aware of it, now there it is right there presenting itself to me. Lastly, transcription, the process of copying, mimicking, playing along with solos. Just, I'll never be able to overstate how effective that's been for me and how effective I've seen it be for hundreds of students over the years. For 15 years in my virtual studio, we've been doing transcription challenges nearly every month, and it's for a reason. It works. It just gives you something to focus on, focus around. It helps you measure like where you are, where's your sound, how's your time feel, your articulation. It's very much for me less about like learning and extracting vocabulary and more just how to sound out the language, the feel of it. So something very fundamental oriented, like on the horn, tone, technique, these kinds of things, just making sure I'm always being diligent about trying to make this instrument disappear in the practice time that I've got. And then being in music, playing along with music, learning music by ear, songs and solos, and that's all just really, really important. So those are the kind of like 3 broad food groups, which I can draw from anytime that I go to do my practicing, so that I can at least feel like, even if I'm not getting the most amount of time to practice, I don't necessarily need the most amount of time. I just need to be thoughtful about what I'm doing. And then I need to go pick up my son from school.